Queen Elizabeth II dying? This is what some are saying. Queen Elizabeth is not on her deathbed. While she may be holed up in Windsor Castle isolating herself from the deadly coronavirus pandemic, she just turned 94 last week, and in February, she began her remarkable 68th year on the British throne. Not only is she the longest-serving British monarch in history, but she is the fourth longest-serving monarch of any country in history. If you're wondering, King Louis XIV of France has the longest reign ever, at just over 72 years. The tabloids wrongly predict Queen Elizabeth's death all the time. While we at Gossip Cop marvel at Queen Elizabeth's longevity, the tabloids take a more cynical approach to the aging sovereign. Two tabloids, in particular, the National Enquirer and the Globe, have predicted her untimely demise at least 15 times on the covers of their publications over the last 7 years. The unreliable outlets have been wrong every time, of course. Still, the practice continues. It happens all the time. Just last week, in fact, on its cover, the Enquirer claimed Queen Elizabeth only has months to live. Now, we are only mere gossip police here, not doctors, but forgive us if we take this bold prediction with a grain of salt, because just last year, the same tabloid predicted her death twice, once in March and again last December. On tabloid predicts Queen Elizabeth's death most than any other. When it comes to over-the-top levels of ridiculousness though, you have to hand to the Enquirer's sister publication, The Globe. The two papers are both owned by the same company and both use this tactic to sell magazines, but The Globe has made a true cottage industry out of it. At least once a year, and sometimes more, the tabloid recycles this bogus allegation hoping to trick concerned grocery shoppers into impulse buys while they wait to check out. Looked back through 7 years of covers to pull these out, like this one from July 2013 which morbidly picked a number of stars it was expecting to die, though none did. And in fact, 7 years later, all 7 celebrities on the cover are still living. Or in August 2013. In December, the tabloid decided to double down on his disturbing predictions from earlier in the year with a slew of new picks. It's worth noting that of the 7 stars on the cover, 5 are thankfully still with us, and none passed away within 4 years of these predictions. The tabloid is shameless. Just 3 months later, the paper asserted Prince William and Kate Middleton were named king and queen by a dying Queen Elizabeth. They weren't, and she can't do that, so she didn't. Then there was this from the summer of 2014 that announced Queen Elizabeth II was abdicating and dying. Or this one, just 2 months later. 2 months later, in October 2014, it was Alzheimer's. Despite predicting the end 4 times in 2014, the Queen, of course, lived to see 2015, but in January 2016, the tabloid was once again claiming the end was near for Her Majesty. In May 2017, the Globe announced a dying Queen had collapsed. In September of the same year, it was back at it, this time claiming Queen Elizabeth was not only dying, but she had quit her job. Neither were true, of course. Yet the Queen lives on. Maybe because it's been so wrong, so often in the past, the Globe has slowed its predictions. The Queen continues to astonish those close to her and her fans around the world with her resilience, making these tabloids look simply foolish. Queen Elizabeth II health update, monarch informed of life or death situation. Queen Elizabeth II has sparked health concerns after 2 members of the royal family including her son, Prince Charles, had a confirmed case of coronavirus during the UK lockdown. Queen Elizabeth II has been self-isolating at Windsor Castle with Prince Philip since the UK lockdown due to coronavirus as the 2 senior royals are in a high-risk group. The 93-year-old monarch has been quiet in this time which has sparked concerns about her health as the death toll for COVID-19 has continued to soar. But Sky News correspondent Alistair Bruce has revealed what the Queen is doing at this time. The Sky News host asked, "We haven't heard that much, have we, from the monarch in the last few weeks?" Royal correspondent Alistair Bruce said, "The Queen is being kept very closely in touch with everything that's going on. hearing the very sad salute to the nurse who has lost her life. I think one is reminded very much of when the UK was involved in wars in Afghanistan and Iraq. The Queen was kept informed the whole time about people who had been injured or killed and what those details were. I think now again as the Queen is at Windsor with Prince Philip, they're much older now than when those battles were taking place. But this is another much more worldwide war and the Queen will want to be kept very closely informed. I think that's the nature of how she's always wanted to lead the nation since she became the monarch in 1952. I think she will put her own situation at naught compared to her nation, as all of us must soon come to the realization that this is for many a life or death situation and the Queen wants to focus the minds of the nation on that. The Queen is to address the nation on Sunday delivering a message about the coronavirus outbreak, Buckingham Palace has said. The expectation has been growing about when the head of state would make a public statement about the unprecedented events that have seen the country go into lockdown to combat the COVID-19 pandemic. Buckingham Palace said in a statement, Her Majesty the Queen has recorded a special broadcast to the United Kingdom and the Commonwealth in relation to the coronavirus outbreak. The televised address will be broadcast at 8 p.m. on Sunday 5th of April, 2020. The address was recorded at Windsor Castle. In the message the Queen is likely to praise the efforts of health workers and all those who have been helping in the fight against COVID-19 and offer reassurance to the nation during this unsettling period. The Prince of Wales offered his own message of hope to the country earlier this week when he recorded a video after coming out of isolation following a positive test for COVID-19. Charles said in his words of support, "As a nation, we are faced by a profoundly challenging situation, which we are only too aware threatens the livelihoods, businesses and welfare of millions of our fellow citizens. None of us can say when this will end, but end it will. Until it does, let us all try and live with hope and, with faith in ourselves and each other, look forward to better times to come."